And the Africans who can speak with the click language call him Umzelgeza. You have to say it fast or you will say it wrong. Umzelgeza. The British called him the path of fire, path of thunder. He met with Zulus near the edge of the Drakensberg Mountains and said that he has gotten enough of Clarke's killing, and he didn't think the spoils were being equally divided. With his 15,000 Zulus he had under his command, he decided to break away. And when he made this decision, the Zulus gave him the royal salute. Then he shied away from it, almost like Caesar refusing the crown that he knew he wanted. He said the royal salute belongs only to Clarke and his mother, the great elephant, Nanda. To call a woman an elephant in African society, that means she's strong with great character. In this society, you don't do that. Now, they gave him the royal salute again, and he partially accepted their leadership. Then he noticed the old men standing by, kind of frowning. And he prostrated himself in front of the old man and asked for apologies from his elders. So I've spoken like a child. I have not asked my fathers which way to go. And they said, rise. We agree with you. We will leave Clarke. And they pointed toward the mountains. We will go beyond the mountains, for there are women to be our wives, cattle as plentiful as ants, land as far as the eye can see. We have had enough of Clarke's killing. We will find a new home. Then he turned to the men and said, do you know what you are doing? You cannot go back and claim your wives. You must leave your children, your wives, and everything behind, because if you go back, you give away what's going to happen. Now, history shows that some of them went back one by one and claimed their wives and children anyway, but most of them went without their wives, without the children. They went to a country. Part of it is now called Zambia. Other part is now called Zimbabwe. Later called Southern Rhodesia and Northern Rhodesia, where they found a new home for themselves across this mountain under the leadership of Umzelgeza. Now Clarke searches for a new leader, a new warlord. He looks among the regular Zulus. You don't find one. But among the Borlong people who had joined them, who had moved down from Central Africa with them, he finds a leader in the Brown Regiment, Brown Shield Regiment. I saw his picture when he was 74. And as much as I'm close to 74, the picture frightened the hell out of me. Mamboza was standing there with his loincloth on, not a gray hair in his head and all the hair on his head, not a break in his complexion at all, not a wrinkle in his face. That's Mamboza. He assumes warlordship of the Zulus to fight the Ponderland campaign and other campaigns. All right, now near the end of Clarke's life, he's growing weary, not only of warfare, but of some other things. Because the Zulus are patrilineal. This is one of the few African people who are in the patrilineal. The lineage come down through the male. He has sent most of his sons away, all of them really, because he feared that one day they may come and dethrone him. His mother, Ninda, wanting a grandchild to pamper, takes this last son, has a little village built where she can go and pamper and dawdle over her grandchild like grandmothers want to do the world over. Clarke discovers this and is angry with her. But contrary to all the literature, they say he struck his mother and she died. There's not one iota of proof in it, and I went all the way to Ireland to find the diary of the white man who was with Clarke during his death, during her death. Clarke began to lose interest in the dance because Clarke was a great cultural figure and a great dancer. I'm going to see, you see, more and more you see what's left out of the film. He was a great dancer. He liked Fan because Fan could cook up something called Irish stew, and Clarke took a liking to it, you know. And well, the Irish had no colonists, so he had no reason to fear this white man, you know. Had no colonists, had no armies, no navies, you know. So he let him in. While on a hunt, a runner came to him to announce that Ninda, his mother, had passed. He was 60 miles away from Zululand at the time. He went on back to bury his mother. Now I know this might sound gruesome to you and your Western mind, but one of the great funerals in Africa, Clarke decreed that 15,000 men would guard her grave for a year. And they did. He ordered the whole nation into mourning. If anybody showed any form of gaiety, happiness, or laughter, they got punished. He maimed the cows so the cows could also mourn for the passing of Ninda. He said that there'll be no crops planted for a year. The people said they could take that, so they did. He forbid certain other things. Then he said no cohabitation for a year. Then the old ladies took over. He said our king is crazy. He has forbidden life itself. We will not survive as a Zulu nation unless we bring forth life into the world. Here is a patrilineal society, a male-dominated society. The women, the old women of the council ordered his ceremonial death, not his assassination, his ceremonial death for the good of the Zulus. They said he is royal, only royal hands shall touch him. So they chose his two half-brothers to do the job. And when they went into his tent, he would say, you think that by killing me, you will be king. You will be the bondsman and the slave. Whites are waiting like ants to take over this country. In the second cry, he reminded them that you have called me many things, saint, tyrant, God, and devil. To some extent, I am all of these things, but I am something else you need to remember. I'm the greatest hope you have for freedom from European rule in this century. In the last blow, he looked at them with pity and said, oh, what have I done to you, sons of my fathers? Now Clarke is gone. Zulu land is looking for a new king. They find the king among his assassins, Dingaan. That was one of the boys born when Nanda went back to live among the Emptiwas, came back to visit Zulu land, and some of the other wives said, the shame is gone, now we have sons. That was one of the sons, now grown. Now, Dingaan takes over. Now the fight between the whites have started, not with Clarke, but with Dingaan. Now the British push the Boers, and the Boers push the Zulus, and the Zulus push back. The Boers want to find a separate republic on the other side